Eu entrevistei o Jonathan Rogers. Por essa você não esperava, né? Nem eu. Foi um evento fechado para alguns criadores de conteúdo do mundo todo e eu tive a honra de ser convidado também. Nesse vídeo eu vou te dar todos os detalhes da viagem e eu também vou te mostrar a entrevista na íntegra, logo depois da vinheta. Fala Gamer! Eu sou o Yantor e recentemente a GGG me convidou para um evento fechado lá em Los Angeles, onde o Jonathan e o Octavian apresentaram ao vivo tudo que foi mostrado no último GGG Live. Só que com o Octavian passando pelo jogo enquanto o Jonathan falava. Nós viajamos no dia 7 e o evento aconteceu no dia 8, foi tudo incrível. O espaço estava totalmente decorado com o tema do APOIE 2 e também contava com um número impressionante de máquinas para os jogadores que quisessem testar a demo do jogo que estava disponível por lá. Além de ter tido a oportunidade de conhecer e trocar ideia com vários outros criadores de conteúdo da gringa, que você provavelmente conhece, eu também consegui uma entrevista com o Jonathan diretamente de um espaço reservado que eles disponibilizaram por lá. Eu pedi tanto no Instagram quanto no Facebook pra galera me enviar perguntas e eu até consegui encaixar algumas que foram feitas na entrevista, que apesar de curta, foi bem tranquila. Agora, sem mais delongas, bora pra entrevista na íntegra.
Hi Jonathan, how are you doing?
Hi, very good, thank you.
So, with the Portuguese video that we have recently, we saw a lot of commotion from the Brazilian people with the developers. Will the game be voice acted in PTBR eventually? Is this something we can expect?
So effectively, we don't have that at the moment, but it's certainly something that's come up. It's basically one of those things where it can be, I guess there's a few challenges with it. The first one is that obviously since I don't understand Brazilian Portuguese, I can't tell whether the quality of the voice acting is good, so that's always a concern. But the other one, of course, is just that operationally, you know, sometimes we record things at the last minute, sometimes we have to get local actors to come along and kind of, you know, like we added this feature, we have to do some voice acting for it. So the problem that we would have is, since we patch things so fast, having other languages for localization of audio is always going to have that challenge. So it's something that I definitely like to do, and as I think if the game stabilizes a bit more, it might be something we could consider, but we're not going to have it for early access at the very least. But it's definitely a request we've had from a few different times, so it's one of those things that I think they're still potentially open to being able to do that, but it is just a question of can we get our act together and actually get it done.
Awesome, thanks. With the BGS event, I think we Brazilians can say that was a huge success for us.
For sure.
It was amazing seeing GGG there and Path of Exile being part of the event as well. Should we expect GGG to be part of events like BGS or Gamescom in the future in Brazil?
It really just depends on whether or not we've got you know, a big announcement nearby to the time. Obviously for PoE 2, we've got like a lot of stuff to announce, a lot of stuff to talk about, and a lot of stuff to show. So you know, I'd love to go back, be able to actually go there and myself and have a look as well. But it's really just going to come down to, like, you know, what's the timing like? You know, if it's close to when we do full release, maybe that would make sense. If it's, but hard to say. So yeah, you know, it's certainly fun to do events like that for sure.
Which class are you most excited to show to the public?
I mean, you mean of the ones we haven't shown, or the ones that we have? I mean, the one I'm enjoying playing the most myself at the moment is definitely the monk. That's definitely up there. But my second favorite would probably be the mercenary at the moment. But honestly, it varies around a lot as we you know, as we do things. Like my favorite moves around quite a bit.
Will the keybinds be persistent between different platforms? I think he mentioned something like that, right?
So the console keybinds and the PC mouse keyboard keybinds are separate from each other. But if you play on a controller on a PC and then go to console, then the keybinds will be persistent. But as I said, controller versus non-controller keybinds are different. And that's because, generally speaking, you're going to want to set that up differently anyway. So yeah, when you transition from one to the other, you can have your own keybind set for that. But yeah, they are persistent across platforms if you're using the same controller setup.
Okay, cool. On that note, if I choose WSD on the character and mouse on another, will the setting be saved per character or per account?
It's actually just a local client setting, so you can change from one to the other very easily like that. Actually, someone else asked this question earlier, so maybe we should consider making it a per character setting, but it's honestly very trivial to change. Like, you just click one button and you're there, so you know, it's it's not something that necessarily matters too much, I think.
Okay, awesome. Last one. You mentioned on the presentation that it's almost 25 hours of campaign gameplay. what type of player are you taking in consideration for this?
So the 25-hour number should be the case for a new player who hasn't played the game before. If you're an existing player for PoE, I'd expect that to be a few hours shorter, but not too much. That being said, if you are a player who's played PoE 2 a bunch, you can get that down really quite a lot. Like I know Mark can get through the game in about 6 hours, relatively easy. So, like if you've played the game a lot, you know exactly what you're doing, you know all the boss mechanics, you can do that pretty quickly. It just comes down to level of experience. But yeah, 25 is for like a new player who hasn't played PoE before.
Okay, thank you for your time.
No problem, thank you.
E aí, curtiu? Deixa aqui nos comentários o que você achou. Não esquece de se inscrever no canal e ativar as notificações para não perder os próximos vídeos, porque com o lançamento do APOIE 2 tem muita coisa vindo por aí. GG!